4 mental hacks to regain your motivation and passion. You wake up bright and early. You have every intention to kill it today. Then, 3 hours later, you realize that you've accomplished absolutely nothing. What's the deal? What's the deal? To be fair, we all have one of those days when we are not at peak performance. And, that's alright. But, if this becomes a chronic problem, then you've probably lost your motivation and passion. If so, use these 4 mental hacks to regain your motivation and passion so you can become a success story. 1. Focus on intrinsic motivation. There are 2 types of motivation, extrinsic, or external, and intrinsic, or internal. When your boss sets a deadline for a project and your bonus is tied to that deadline, then that's an example of extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation, on the other hand, would be learning a new skill or hobby in your free time because you're seeking personal satisfaction or achievement. Extrinsic motivation often relies on if-then rewards. This can be an effective motivator in certain contexts. For tasks that are simple and require more physical effort or time to complete, if-then rewards work. But, it's not effective for repetitive or creative tasks. In fact, researchers have found that if-then rewards can actually worsen performance. Instead, focus on intrinsic motivation, such as the 3 elements required for intrinsic motivation by author Dan Pink. This includes autonomy, mastery, and purpose. 2. Tap into your bigger purpose. When you find that your motivation is lacking, focus on the bigger picture. For example, think about the purpose of your activity or how it fits into the larger goals you are trying to achieve. This provides the feeling of working on something that's more important than yourself. If you need a starting point, think about how what you do adds value to others or improves the world. For example, your small business is improving your community because it's providing jobs. Those blog posts you publish are helping customers make more informed purchasing decisions. 3. Ditch the negatives. The brain is a complex muscle that solves complex mathematical problems, generates innovative ideas that have put men on the moon, invented the internet that has changed the way we live, and the mind has given us the intelligence to cure serious diseases and save countless lives. But the mind can be tricked, writes Chris Delaney for Addicted to Success. Delaney suggests that you read this statement out loud: I love London in the summertime. Did you notice the double use of word the? Most of us didn't. This same psychology can be used to trick the mind into making us more motivated. For example, think of a task you need to do, but procrastination has stopped you. When you think about this goal, do you imagine how difficult this task is, how many steps you have to take, and do you have doubts whether you will fail? When you focus only on the problems and pain of the goal, your mind magically erases the positives, the potential fun, and your optimistic outcome. Instead, focus on the positives by tricking your mind. One way is to imagine that the negative thoughts or bad memories are getting smaller and weaker, as if you were seeing a tiny black and white image TV. Now add fun, silly, and less threatening details to that thought or memory. If you do this 5 to 10 times, you'll actually be able to change your perception. If you do this 5 to 10 times, you'll actually be able to change your perception. 4. Stop overthinking it. Overthinking an easy task can actually make things more complicated. Overthinking an easy task can actually make things more complicated. This is because you're busy anticipating unlikely problems instead of focusing on getting it done. This eventually leads to more stress and pressure. And, according to research, chronic stress and anxiety can actually shrink your brain. When your mind is relaxed, you're able to focus more and solve problems. The best way not to overthink a problem is to make sure your goals are simple, small and realistic.